Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Thursday night and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. So what are we working on tonight? Great question. I know you guys always anxious to find out what we're working on. I have gotten in the habit of putting in the title, like when I create these things. I usually like at the last minute when I remember to, I'll put in the title. So if you read the title, you know that we are working on Dogpool tonight from the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Deadpool movie. This is the first, like, this is the third Deadpool movie, but it's the first one in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm super excited, and it's apparently like a team up between him and Wolverine. It's just gonna be. I have such high hopes for this. I hope it doesn't bomb because like I think it's going to be great. It's coming out at the end of this month. I think the 26th, which is like in 2 weeks or something. But anyway, we're going to work on Dogpool, not Deadpool, Dogpool tonight. And I realize that some of you guys may not be familiar with Deadpool or Dogpool or seen any of the trailers or any of that. So I was able to snag like a reference picture. So this is Dogpool. Dogpool is the most amazing dog ever. So a little bit of the story behind this. Just Dave actually brought this to my attention. I probably would have got around to drawing Dogpool anyway, but Just Dave suggested. I'm like, oh yeah, bet I got to do this. So the reason why Just Dave suggested is because this poor poor animal is actually Britain's ugliest dog. It was voted Britain's ugliest dog. I think it's adorable. I think Dogpool is super cute. So in real life, Dogpool's real name is not his real name in the movie, but his real name in real life is or her name is Peggy. So this is Peggy, real dog from the Great Britain, voted ugliest dog over there. Apparently, it's a pug Chinese crested cross, so like a puggies. Um, I think it's adorable. Anyway, so I'm gonna draw this. Hopefully that's cool with you guys. Feel free to jump into the chat. Let's see. Here we go. I've already kind of got sketched out on the paper where I want it to be. A couple of shout outs to people in the room. We got OK Larry in here. We got Rome Dog. We got Kid. We got Mama Q. This is perfect. Great. So yeah, I realize like not everybody is familiar with the Deadpool movies or like the Marvel Cinematic Universe or anything, even though I talk about it all the time. So I thought I'd show a little picture there. Apparently, it's just like a variant of Deadpool or something like that. But anyway, I'm going to get started with some background in here just so that I kind of have like an anchor point for the dog. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the background. It's kind of like besides the point, but I didn't want the dog just kind of floating in space. So I am going to throw in a little bit of background here. Now, in the reference picture, he's sitting on a car. I'm not going to get that far into detail. I'm just going to add a little bit of green so that you can see the trees. And then I think on the other side, I'll add a little bit of blue so that you can see like sky peeking through the trees. I'm just doing this kind of to like, I don't want the dog to have like a halo effect if I decide to add like a background later. So I'm just going to start with that. Let's see, what else we got here? Oh, Nora's in the house too. Hey, Nora, how's it going? This is going to be an adorable dog, Nora. Yeah, you're probably a little young to be watching Deadpool movies, but you know they'll probably turn no, Peggy into a cartoon version of Deadpool at some point. So I don't know too much about the story of the Deadpool movie. Just that it's probably going to be a Deadpool variant. Like I know that in the Loki series, they had an alligator Loki, so that's probably what gave them the inspiration to do this. There is a dog pool in the comics, so it's not like they had to like reach very far for inspiration. But this dog looks way better than the dog in the comic. Like they really lucked out picking this dog. Beautiful. She loves dogs and cats. Great. Cool. Yeah. You fit right at home, Nora. Yeah, we love dogs and cats on this channel too. All animal lovers. So, yeah, like I said, in the reference picture, Dogpool is sitting on a car. I'm just going to throw in like a little bit of light gray down here just for the, just so it's not all black. But again, I'm not going to put like a lot of detail in here. I don't want to distract from the dog himself, herself. I guess Peggy is a girl, but I don't know. Dogpool, I think it's supposed to be a boy. So Peggy the girl dog is playing Dogpool the boy dog. All right, so I did want to get some blues in here. Again, I'm just kind of making short work of this background, not too not too crazy. It's kind of putting in a little bit of sky poking through the trees and branches and so on. Probably kind of look a little grayish anyway. Get like a little bit fluffy. Anyway, not too much of a big deal. By the way, I'm working in soft pastels on this. Like in case you're new to the channel and you haven't seen me do any pictures before, I kind of like work in a bunch of different mediums or like whatever I feel like doing. For this picture, I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this in pastels, and I think it'll work out. But just to let you know, not doing colored pencils here, not doing anything crazy. Just throwing in some. I think I'm gonna need a little bit more blue in some of these. So I've got some stick pastels. I've got some pastel pencils. Yeah, I like that blue better. Again, it's just the sky poking through. It's not, doesn't have to be nuts. So, in fact, I'm going to move on from this right now. All right, so the next thing I think I want to do, we'll come back to all of that, make it like look a little bit better, depending on how the drawing goes. Let's see, did I miss anything in chat? Rome, I feel like such a goober. I lost track of time. My wife made it home, and for some reason I thought I had another week. That's been Larry. Oh, you guys just talking about it yourself. That's cool. I bet Zeus and Bandit miss her more. Speaking of Zeus and Bandit, they should be arriving either today or tomorrow or something like that. I haven't checked the tracking. Yeah, the picture I did. All right, so now that I've got that in there, I'm going to switch to, usually I start with the dog himself, and I'm doing everything but the dog, but I wanted to get started with this little Deadpool symbol here, just so that kind of to create like an anchor point for the picture. Just so that, like, if somebody pops in the next like 5 minutes or something, they see pretty clearly the Deadpool symbol, and they're like, oh, okay, that's what you're doing. How many of you guys are familiar with like Deadpool? Did you guys watch those movies or anything? They're super hilarious. Ryan Reynolds is just hilarious. It's not your typical Marvel fare. Like again, this is the first one in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It used to be Fox, and it ended up being one of the first comic book movies to get like an R rating. So it's not for everybody. Like if you're like a young kid or something like that, you may not be watching this. I'm not going to recommend it, at least. I know that when I was a kid, I was probably watching things I shouldn't have watched. But well, that's not really true. It was a while before my parents even let me watch Star Wars, believe it or not. They thought Star Wars was too violent for me to watch. I'm trying to remember, like, I know when it first came out, they wouldn't let me watch Star Wars. It was a while before I could watch that. All right, so we got the old Deadpool in here. Rum Dog says, there's a girl I've been after for 3 years, and I'm getting closer. We talk almost every day. Nice. Congratulations, man. Get the eyes going in here. So Deadpool in the comics is a kind of a mercenary, but the reason why people love Deadpool as a character is he's one of the only characters that's aware that he's actually a comic book character. So he's pretty famous for breaking the fourth wall in the comics and in the movies. Like going into this MCU movie, he's aware that he's in an MCU movie. He not only talks about Wolverine, the character, he also talks about Hugh Jackman, the actor. So he's got this weird awareness of himself, and from that standpoint, it's kind of an interesting dynamic. It's great for storytelling. All right, so Peggy. I'm gonna call the dog Peggy. Peggy is kind of like this grayish kind of dog. So I think I'm gonna start with um, eh, I think I'm gonna start with this kind of like grayish base, and then build up from there. I just kind of want to get some definition of the dog going, just kind of like um, I'm gonna do this in pencil instead, just to have a little bit more control. It is kind of a tighter environment than what I thought. So let me just switch to pencil here. It's the same color basically. So this is the ear. Dorsal twitch. The tongue sticking out is the best part. Have you seen the trailer for the popcorn bucket? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean that's what I love about this movie. It's an event, you know. Like there's some movies that you can skip going to the theater for, but like this is one of those things where it's like you have to watch this in the theater. Um, like, and I'm the type of guy that has to go and watch it like when it first comes out. I can't put it off because the problem is all of my YouTube recommendations. So like, there's a couple of different things that I pop up in my YouTube a lot. So there's like a lot of drawing picture type things because like I'm always curious what other artists are up to, and then the rest of it is like comic books and like movies and things like that. So if I don't go see the movie in theaters when it first comes out, then it's going to be spoiled for me like that day. Like I can't even go on YouTube until I go and watch the movie, or else somebody's going to spoil it. Because like in this, I don't know if it's going to resonate with like major audiences because I feel like there's like a lot of inside jokes just from the trailer and stuff. There's so many cameos. Um, you can tell from the trailer. I don't think this is a spoiler or anything. You can tell from the trailer a lot of it takes place like in the TVA. Like if you haven't watched the Loki series, you don't even really know what the TVA is and stuff. So I don't know how somebody's going to follow along. So that's my concern. My concerns are that people aren't going to be able to like follow the movie without already having a strong basis of the MCU and stuff. But anyway, I know that I will probably get hit with all the spoilers if I don't go and watch it in the theater first. So I'm going to make it like my priority to go and watch it the day it comes out. Which usually works out for me. There's a theater nearby that's kind of like on the small end. Not a lot of people go to it. I can go probably, like I've never had a problem going and watching something on the day that it comes out. Just because there's like not a ton of people that go to that theater. It's kind of in a small town. It's not like in Lexington itself. Anyway, I'm just rambling on. How are you guys doing? You guys looking forward to the weekend? Tomorrow's Friday. Pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to the weekend. It's been really hot, but it's kind of cooled down. Like I know that like that's kind of mean to say because probably in some of the areas of the country it's super hot out there. But here it's kind of calmed down a little bit, so I might actually venture out into the world. I've been kind of avoiding going outside a lot lately, just because of the weather. It's either raining or like super hot, or like it just rained and then it's all like humid and muggy and stuff like that. Love that you guys are just talking amongst yourselves. Rome Dog says, I only grew up on PG movies. Yeah, like I felt like that was me too. Um, like my parents aren't like sticklers for that kind of thing. I don't know why, but like I said, I remember that they wouldn't let me watch Star Wars. But then, like, as I got older and stuff, I don't remember that being such a big constraint. Maybe it was just when I was a kid. Maybe they were trying to figure out what they were going to do as far as like morality and all, like teaching me good morals. I think they did all right. So right now, I'm just kind of getting rough features in here. I'm not too worried about details at this point. I'm just trying to kind of cover his face in a way that I don't lose where things are, like from my base sketch that I did. Like I want to make sure I still know where the eyes are, where basic like fur features are and so on. But yeah, I do want to kind of cover the space, get some skin in there. He's got like fur, but it's like I don't know, he's one of those like animals that don't really have a lot of fur. Like it's mostly skin. He's an alarming creature, but he's so adorable. Hey Tyler, how's it going, man? You haven't been in here a while. How's life out west? Still still herding the cows and stuff. All right, so this right here is all tongue. So I'm just gonna kind of outline this tongue so that I know where the tongue is. So I've seen other pictures of Peggy that aren't Deadpool related. So like this is Peggy in her costume. But there are other pictures of Peggy. Like I said, super famous over in Britain for being the world's or the Britain's ugliest dog. Um, so I've seen other pictures, and the tongue is always hanging out. So I don't know if that's just the way this poor dog is or what. Like just Google Britain's ugliest dog if you want to see other pictures of Peggy. But I think Peggy's adorable. This is pretty good grade for the skin tone and too. I was a little worried about how to mix the colors for this because it's not exactly gray, but it's gray enough to where I feel comfortable just going with this. Like if I put this up on the internet as like a picture I drew or something, I don't feel like I'm gonna get judged too much. The cool thing about drawing these these fan pictures is people aren't really judging the art. They're judging like I put these up on Reddit. Like I did Rocket Raccoon because that's another animal from the movies that I thought was cool, and I put it up on Reddit, and it was probably my best Reddit post in terms of like likes and so on. But it's not my art. They were talking about the character, so it really like the art is kind of besides the point. So if I put this up on Reddit, they're not going to be judging my artwork so much. They're going to be judging like how much they're looking forward to seeing Dogpool in the movie. There's some interesting features in here. I think that's going to be hard to draw. Peggy got a role in a movie. Yeah, that is cool, isn't it? That's awesome. There's some features in here. I think that's going to be a little bit hard to draw, like some wiry fur. So I don't know what my approach is going to be to that, but I'll figure it out. Like through here, I don't even know what part's mouth and what's just kind of like a mop of fur. The owners of this dog must be so proud. Like I always thought about the owners of Grumpy Cat. Like they've done some interviews and stuff like that, and it's like to be the owner of a like a famous pet would just be wild. Like imagine you were the owner of like Lassie or something like that back in the day, or Benji, just a famous or Spuds McKenzie. Was that a real dog or was that like a cartoon? I don't remember. But imagine being the owner of like one of these famous pets. Like the dog itself is probably treated better than you are. I didn't realize my kitty was in here. Hey kitty. The cat's mad at me today. Because like the cat had like a piece of plastic hanging out of its butt. I think it ate a piece of plastic. I had to like pull it out and now the cat won't talk to me. I did like I did sort of like plastic removal from my cat. My cat's always doing bad things. All right, kitty. It's okay. We're just drawing pictures. All right, so I think that's a good start for the face. I do want to get this tongue in here before it gets too late. Kind of had a color set aside for that. I think that's going to be this pink, but also there's going to be some purple in it. So I'm gonna have to layer some colors here. but I did want to kind of get this in here. And then there's like some white highlights. Like I feel like when I did my Chihuahua, that would have been a cool style for this. But like I wanted to look like the the dog, so I don't want to be too crazy with the just going expressive and fanciful on it. Dog's tongue in here. So I think it's really like only like two, three colors that make up the tongue. Um, I always struggle with doing a dog's tongue that's hanging out because there's a bunch of different colors in there and they're hard to like translate with the set of pencils I've got, which is actually a pretty good set. It's just I struggle trying to figure out how to mix the colors. But I think that looks okay. Get the dog's face going. I'll worry about his costume here in a minute. I want to make sure that I've got the face nailed down before I move into like the body of it. The Budweiser dog, yeah, yeah, Spuds McKenzie, I think he was. Jeremy, a new name might pop up in here. Cool. We like new people. Hey, kitty. All right, so the dog kind of reminds me of a gremlin, particularly Spike the gremlin, where he just kind of had a mop of hair sticking up. So I'm going to try to do this. I know I'm going to screw it up because like there's just individual wispy hair going everywhere. But I'm going to try to do this. That's hard to do. This dog. This dog is definitely like an interesting has an interesting look. It's like always having a bad hair day. I know, kitty. Okay. I put you out, but I'm doing my live stream. You know, we'll come back later. All right, get this wild hair going up here. So I don't think I'm going to like get too nuts with it right now. I just kind of want to figure out that this is in here, and then I'll come back and get something no good. That cat, if I'm not paying attention to it, will just like tear things up. Rum Dog isn't famous, but he's got a couple fans, international too. Hey, that's all that matters. Rum Dog is awesome. So imagine if Rum Dog got like a movie deal or something like that. That's what I'm kind of talking about with imagine being the owner of a famous animal. You hear that, Bear? You should get like a movie deal. I think Bear would love to be in a movie. Bear loves attention. It's like this dog. This dog looks so weird right now. I promise I'm drawing an accurate picture, I think. I know it doesn't look like a dog. I'm like, how am I supposed to do this picture when this dog is so weird looking? It's hard to like even look at this dog. Yeah, that's Archer back there whining. I don't know what she wants. Or he wants. Sorry. I always forget and call him a she. This dog is just so weird looking. It's hard to even look at. Okay. All right. Focus, Jeremy. You're a professional. You can do this. Do you are you guys Marvel movie fans? Like, or is that just me? Or I know that most people probably saw movies like Endgame. and probably saw a few of the movies over the years. Like, I feel like everybody's familiar with Captain America and um, Iron Man and so on. Like, these aren't like obscure references or anything like that, but not everybody's like a fan of the movies like I am. Like, I'm a diehard fan. Like, they can do no wrong in my book. All right, so I'm going to try to use this kind of fleshy color for the nose because I feel like without this nose here, this is looking weird. Let's see if I can get some definition going here. The nose. Definitely going to be in a cartoon when you're done. Oh, that's cool. Making a cartoon with Rum Dog in it. That's awesome. I was thinking about making a cartoon. I'm currently making a stop motion video. Hopefully it comes out all right. I don't know. Like I don't have like a lot of free time, but I wanted to do this. Mama Q recently had a birthday. Happy birthday, Mama Q, if you're still in here. Um uh and I asked, well, what do you want for your birthday? You get a birthday wish, and she said, well, I want to see you do the Geppetto doing a self-portrait picture that we've been talking about in the past. And I'm like, all right, bet, yeah, definitely, because it's been a while. I really need to get to that. So I thought about it, and I was thinking like, well, maybe I could just like do a live stream where I'm drawing the picture for him and stuff on his behalf. And I thought about it. I'm like, that's kind of lame. I really want him to do the self-portrait, or else it's not a self-portrait. It's me doing the picture, right? So I'm making a stop motion video with him doing the portrait. So I haven't done a stop motion picture in like a long time, so it may not turn out right. We'll see. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I've never really been a comic book guy, but I did do some research on the Phantom. Ah, the Phantom. That is the worst movie ever. Like, the actual comic book's not that bad. The comic book itself is like in the same genre as like The Shadow and all those like old detective stories back when like Dick Tracy was a thing, and yes. All right. Okay, guys, give me 1 second. I gotta put this cat out because he's driving me nuts. Like, give me 1 second, okay? I'll be right back. I tried to put the cat out, and now it won't come out from underneath the thing. Anyway, so sorry. Um, the Phantom, yeah, it's a pretty good comic, but the movie had Billy Zane in it, and it was terrible. Billy Zane is one of those actors that uh, he was good in Titanic. I enjoyed Billy Zane in Titanic, but other than that, I don't know. But certainly in The Phantom was like a dumb movie. I hated it. It's probably one of the worst. Like, I haven't seen it for a while, so I feel like I'm overjudging it. Um, but as I recall, I hated that movie. I really did. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I couldn't even get the cat out the door. Like, I tried to, and I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it. So I was like, oh well, if you don't want to go out, then you're not going to go out. All right, so we got a bit of a nose in here. I'll kind of clean that up a little bit. I want to work on getting some eye definition in here just so that we have something. Yeah, I see you, cat. Go lay down. If everybody in this room, I'm sure, has pets, so you guys know how it is when your animals aren't. I'm not drawing you right now. I'm drawing. I'm drawing Peggy. Peggy, the adorable pooch. Billy Zane was good in Dead Calm. I don't know if I've seen that. I'll take your word for it. Like I said, he's not as bad as Nicolas Cage, but you know how like I talk sometimes about Nicolas Cage movies where it's like you you really don't know what you're going to get out of a Nicolas Cage movie. It could be brilliant, it could be terrible. You don't know until you actually watch it. Um, I wouldn't say Billy Zane is that bad, but it kind of feels like that. It's like he could be a good actor. Like I said, I thought he was great in Titanic, but it's, for some reason the movie The Phantom, I just couldn't do it. Um, but there was a lot of movies coming out at that time that were trying to be Batman and just weren't. Like The Shadow with what was his name? The guy who was in trouble, Billy Baldwin, or no, not Billy Baldwin, one of the Baldwin brothers. Um, that wasn't all that great. It was better that I think than the Phantom, but it still wasn't all that great. Oh, shush, kitty. Usually it's Bear that's causing a nuisance. Look at this. Look at this face. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this. Oh, man. This face is hilariously funny. All right, so let's see. Gotta get the reflections off the eyes in here, so that the eyes look a little bit more like eyes and not just, I don't know what I was doing, but all right, get some. Yeah, kitty. All right, and then there's a reflection over here in this eye as well. I know it's not much to look at yet, but I think it's starting to come together. I'm starting to see a Peggy face in this. Billy played a good creep. He's got the face for it. Yeah, there's like one other movie that he played a villain in. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, he plays a really good creepy guy. And he's been in a couple of comedic roles too. So like he doesn't take himself seriously. So that's one of the things I like about him. Like he's nobody's favorite actor, I don't think. Like if Billy Zane, if you're watching this, I apologize. I don't want to be too critical, but I don't think you're anyone's favorite actor. That's probably just a cold fact. So I don't think I'm telling you anything new that you haven't heard before. But yeah, I don't think he's anybody's favorite actor. But he's okay. He's all right. He's not so bad. I don't know about that brown. I don't like that brown. Get back into my gray color here. Go with this gray. So does Peggy have a growth on her face? She has a tongue. There's no growth on her face per se. She's got a weird shaped face. And I'm trying to do it justice. It is challenging because like she's got a weird looking face, so it's hard for you to like kind of anchor yourself in. So like I can draw a bad face of somebody as something recognizable and it's still going to be okay because you already know what the face is supposed to look like and your kind of mind fills in the blank. It's tough with this one. But no, not a growth. Just a weird face. But I'll tease it out of this. Get it going. Oops, I see it now. I don't know if it, I don't know if it's changed all that much in the last couple of minutes. Remove some of that pastel from in there. All right. That's close enough for now. I'll worry about making that a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to move into like this area here. Switch to this pencil. Yeah, just a lot of random like weird fur on the face. Just going a bunch of different directions. It's a very textured face, and that's one of the challenges here to capture that texture. I think I can pull it off, but it may take several layers. It may take several attempts. Just gotta keep my pencil light, I think. Like the growth that you may be thinking of is actually this nose here. Peggy is adorable though. I would love to have Peggy. So, just to let you guys know, in case you haven't seen the Deadpool movies, which I can imagine some of you guys haven't, Deadpool is a character. His ability is that he can heal. But he had like brain cancer or something like that. I think that's the story in the comics. He had some sort of brain cancer, so his mutant ability to heal is constantly at battle with his cancer, which is causing his brain to deteriorate. So basically, he's crazy. He's a crazy dude, and he's he's probably one of the funnier comic book characters because of his craziness. And yes, I can't compete with you, Catch. Um, So he's a little bit crazy, and in the movies, it's hilarious how crazy it is. But he uh, he also has this problem where his face is like all basically disintegrated. Like he's not so bad in the movie. Like in the movie, Ryan Reynolds is kind of like Hollywood ugly. Like the it's hard for me to see. I'm working on a small screen. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's still probably hard to see. Um, so Deadpool in the movie, he's kind of got like an acid kind of acided face or something like that. It's burnt. And it didn't quite heal all the way, even though he has the ability to heal. Um, so for them to pick this dog as like the dog version of Deadpool, it makes sense. You know, it's not supposed to be an attractive dog. Deadpool without his mask on is not an attractive character. Cat, I'm not going to stop this stream just to put you out again. You had the opportunity a minute ago and you just stared at me like I was nuts. I know. You know, kitty. Blame yourself. Yeah. It is your fault. Don't tell me it's not your fault. Jeremy Norris said that she wished she could have that dog in real life. She said it was cute. Yeah, it's adorable. I wish I could have it in real life. You got good taste there, Nora. You're going to be an excellent artist someday. I mean, it's supposed to be an ugly dog, but it's anything but. It's adorable. All right, I don't want to get too crazy on this mop up here, but I just wanted to make some headway on it. Filling this gap here. I think that ear over here might be a little bit big. So I'm going to try to subtract some of this off the ear. I think I made it a little bit big. But that's okay. I can pivot with it. I think that's a little bit more like the reference picture. See how I shaved off part of that ear? That's, some of the stuff you can do as an artist. It's cool. And then kind of put some fuzz in here just so that you can see a more defined line there. Yeah, I know, Kitty. It's so hard being a cat, isn't it? You don't have to do anything all day. You just lay around and lick yourself. Even the dogs have to do some stuff. They have to like protect the house. Kitties don't have to do anything. Get this ear working right here. I'll get it right. Cat, you sound like you're like dying back there. Stop it. Mhm. Oh, your eyesight's dwindling? That's no good. All right, so let's see if I can get this working the way I want it to. Yeah, every year my prescription, not every year, every couple of years, my prescription on my glasses get a little bit stronger. So I'm kind of worried about like, when I get older, how much eyesight I'm gonna have. That's why I gotta do all these pictures now. Before my eyesight does get bad. The other thing is like I spend a lot of time on the computer, and I know that that's not good for my eyesight. I like to take breaks every now and then because it does cause like eye strain and causes my eyes to kind of hurt a little bit. So I'm not happy with this side over here, but I think I'm going to move on and see if like, some of these other features kind of make a little bit more sense. Like there's some fur underneath the eyes here. Let's see, which one uses lighter? I'm going to go with this one. There's some fur underneath the eyes here that might make things make a little more sense. Mine is going out too. We're gonna have to learn to sing. There you go. Yeah, I still want to be an artist, so I guess I'm gonna have to learn to sing or learn to play that violin that I keep talking about learning. I haven't forgotten about that. I just haven't gotten to it. It's probably going to be pushed off into my 2025 list of things that I need to learn. But I still want to learn how to play that violin. So this isn't just me drawing weird squiggly lines. This is actually how the dog's face looks. Got these like neat little squiggles. Cat, you sound like you're dying. Stop it. Yeah, I think this is starting to look a little bit more like Dogpool. That's cool. All right, so I like the texture I got over here. I'm going to try to get that going over on the other side as well. It's a long road, but I think we'll get there, guys. How are we doing on time? Yeah, we're not doing too bad on time. We're in the normal range. This still goes, so pastel pencils still goes a lot faster than colored pencils, in my opinion. So, like, if you're ever kind of curious why I use the pastel pencils so much, especially like when doing a live stream, it's because it does go faster. Mm. You want to go out then? All right, let me try this one more time. I'm sorry, guys. Give me one moment. Ha, got her out. Mission accomplished, guys. Yay. Now you won't hear the cat. Well, I don't know. Now the cat's going to be trying to tear down the wall. All right, so it's got this. Talks got kind of like this weird neck structure here that kind of comes down and almost like a robe. It's almost like cloth. Kind of comes down. It's so weird in this photo. I swear this picture is kind of photo accurate. It just doesn't look like it. I mean, I'm not a perfect artist, so I can't say that It's 100% like the photo, but it's pretty close. It's just a weird dog. Yeah, I had to get rid of the cat. The cat was not cooperating. I usually don't have the cat in here. The cat, usually when I start my stream, I remember to put the cat out and, kind of get things set up, but I don't always remember everything. I'm not very good at recalling things. This dog's face. Ah. Yeah, I am looking forward to this movie. So again, I don't know how general audiences are going to take. I'm sure general audiences are going to enjoy it, but I'm wondering, like, all the things that you have to have watched just to kind of follow along with what's going on. I don't know how they're going to address some of these things in the movie. Like, are they going to explain what the TVA is? I guess maybe a little, but you really have to see Loki in order to understand what the TVA is and why he's there and why there's a bunch of different versions of Deadpool. Because like they're doing this like multiverse saga in the MCU right now, where there are different variations of all the different characters. So of course there's going to be different variations of Deadpool as well, different variations of Wolverine. Like the Wolverine you see in this movie is not technically the Wolverine that you saw in the Fox movies. It's a different version because in canon to the movies, the the Wolverine from the Fox movies died in Logan. So that movie where he played Old Man Logan. Um, so this is a different version of Wolverine as well. I don't know. I just think it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I am so looking forward to it. All right, so we got a second ear in here, for better or worse. There's like little strands of hair sticking off of that. I don't know if I'm drawing him badly or if his face just looks that way. I think I'm actually drawing him well, and his face just looks weird. I go with it. It will be a good movie. It's going to be awesome. Sometimes I say things are going to be awesome and they're really not. I just in the habit of saying, but this time, yes, this time it will be awesome. All right, so it's got a bit of a face going, so that's good. Go down back into here, get some more of this texture going through here. He's got kind of a chin here, but it looks like just a mat of like, I don't know. You know how like fur gets kind of matted sometimes, or like just hair in general. Can't tell if this is fur or an actual mouth. There's something weird going on here. You got a Rome drawing in this morning. That's cool. Yeah, I'm actually impressed with how much you're able to draw Rome. Rome's a good dog to draw. He's got all the he's got all those nice features that you would want to draw when you're drawing a dog. Not like this dog. This dog. So this is a challenge. All right, look. Okay. Real talk here, guys. If you're an artist or you want to be an artist, I've got a challenge for you. Try to draw Dogpool. It is a challenge because of these weird shapes. You're basically drawing shapes that you see instead of like, the features of a dog that you think, like this is not how a dog is supposed to look. So if you want a good challenge to get you out of your comfort zone as an artist, draw a Dogpool. And you'll probably do better than me. Although, I'm kind of happy with how this is looking. Not too bad. I would say things afterwards. Like it may be the alcohol. But I enjoy I enjoy my pictures while I'm doing them. And then afterwards I'm like, oh, I hate that picture. That picture is the worst. I don't feel that strongly about this one, but it is a tough model. But I think it kind of looks like him. All right, so there is some more up here that I'm not happy with. That going, its ear here, I still feel like it's too high. Let's go through here. I could just take it all off. You could be like a Van Gogh dog. Subtract a little bit of that ear. I think that's better actually. Let's see, or maybe second corner off there. I think that's going to be better. Okay. All right, let me get this going. A little bit of repair work here. Just wasn't filling that ear still. So even though it kind of looks a little funky now, I think I can work with that a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. All right, so like I know you guys probably don't have the reference picture in front of you like I do, but I think that this matches a little bit closer to the reference picture. Still probably not perfect, but that's okay. I'm going to grab this blue here and kind of fix up some of this right here with like a little bit of blue sky. Gonna pick a finger that doesn't have a bunch of crap on it already. So that'll work. Okay, back to the actual dog. All right. More fur going through here. We do enough time. I want to make sure that I leave enough time to get his costume in. So I think that's probably good enough for now. I'm going to move into getting his clothing done, just so that we have more of an idea of like Dogpool, the character, not just Peggy, the dog. You know what I mean? Like I could spend forever on the face of Peggy, and forget to not forget, but like neglect putting in the costume, which is what makes Dogpool. Let's get some wispy hair in through here. Okay, so let's start with through here. I'm just going to use my stick pastel to kind of like quickly get some of this color in. Jeremy, I just Googled Dogpool. I see what you got going on now. Yeah, I put up the reference picture at the start of this, but yeah, if you if you have no idea what Dogpool looks like and you didn't see the reference picture, you might be a little bit confused by this picture I'm drawing. Like, you might be like, well, why is Jeremy drawing a crack dog? You know, like, but no, yeah, you have to see the reference picture in order for it to make, even like a little bit of sense, to be honest. Like, this is one of those type of pictures, you know. But I think this is going to work out. Like especially when I get the costume done, I think it'll look a little bit like a dog that's dressed in a Deadpool costume. So if you are going to see the Deadpool movie, so there's a lot of references in it to the old Fox movies, all the X-Men movies and stuff. So there's like a lot of characters they're bringing back as cameos for the movie. I don't feel like you need to watch all of those. Like you'll probably enjoy seeing like, hey, I remember that one particular actor, or oh, that one particular character. I totally forgot about them, because like there's a lot of that in the movie. But I do feel like if you want to get caught up so that you can follow along, I do suggest watching the 2 seasons of Loki, because they'll introduce you to everything that you really need, that I feel like you need to know for the movie. Um, Much better than going back and like watching all of those movies from like the 2000s or something. Hey Tom, how's it going? Some drinks Smittix. I like it. Yeah, if you ever make it to my neck of the woods, I gotta take you to my pub there, Tom. Uh, like they serve. I think there was an article written about it because they won some award. I think they served the fourth most amount of Guinness in the state of Kentucky at the pub that I go to. Like some Irish pubs, they just have Guinness. These people are like known for serving Guinness. Like they really like serve it right too, like the perfect pool. Um, but then sometimes they sell so much that they run out of it. So then the only thing that you can get is a Smittix, because that's like all they got left. They always have one or the other though. Like like you can go in there basically anytime and they're gonna have one of those two things. So here I'm at in the red, kind of like in his costume, and then kind of smoothing it out to give it like base. I still have to figure out how to get some texture and some shading in here, but this is a good start. So fortunately, there's not a lot of red to the costume. It's mostly like black leather with some like red accents. So I don't have to worry too much about it. Um, but yeah, I want to be accurate to the costume. This dog's face. It is so hard to get through this picture. Oh man, this dog. I love this dog. This dog's gonna be like an instant star once that movie comes out. People are gonna go to see this just for the dog. I don't know how long the dog's in it, to be honest. Like, from the trailer, it seems like the dog's in it a lot, but it's probably like the dog's gonna be in it for like, I don't know, 5, 10 minutes of screen time. I don't think I don't think the dog is like a major plot point or anything like that. It's just they have to do some variations of Deadpool. So like again, if you watch the Loki series, one of the variations of Loki was an alligator version of Loki. So of course they're going to have some sort of animal, and they had a frog Thor. I know that sounds crazy, but there's actually like a frog Thor in the comics, so they adapted that to the show as well. So having animal versions of the different characters, that makes sense. Like in terms of as much as comic books make sense. Let's see, let's get some red going down through here. I don't think I'm going to focus too much on this part. Like this part can be out of focus, I guess. All right, I'm going to smooth all this out so that I can kind of apply some texture and so on above it as best I can. I don't know how that's going to go. Running out of fingers to like smudge with. Oh, okay, there's some red through here as well. Thanks, MJ. Appreciate it. Let's see. The red through here. I think the red kind of comes up into here. And then there's some red down through here. All right, I think that's probably good enough. I don't have to like, be perfect with this. It's fine to be like a little bit abstract. It looks like his face is just like drooping off of his thing. All right. Let's see. I got to get in his body. Which I think I was using this pencil for that color. Busy out those big toes to shade with. We don't mind. Well, honestly, you don't see his toes. He's got like these little padded feet things in this, if that's what you were talking about. I think he has a nipple. Like, I think this is the nipple right here. So yeah, he does have a growth. There you go. Oh, that's right. It's not a he. It's actually a Peggy. So this is the she dog posing as a male dog because like Deadpool's male, but Peggy is definitely female, I think. A little bit of red there. I got this little rag over here. It's got like all kinds of pastel, and I need to use it to clean my fingers some now, sometimes. Because I usually just use my hands to clear things out. All right, so a little bit of fur sticking out through here. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on like detail in this picture. It's just a fun picture. I'm not going for like a masterpiece or anything like that. This thing never gonna hang up on anybody's wall. I just wanted to do Dogpool / Peggy justice. And I think it's looking pretty good from that standpoint. So, in case you're like here to actually learn, the way it works with pastels is you end up doing at least like 3 layers, probably more, depending on like how detailed or how much time you want to spend with it. Um, you can make something that looks very abstract and, you know, quickly done. A lot of the pictures that I do, they're meant to be drawn quickly, or you can spend like a ton of time with it. It's all up to you, but you're probably going to end up with like at least 3 layers. This bottom layer is basically all blurred out, and then your details are added over it. Yeah, in my opinion, whenever you're doing one of these pastel pictures, plan on at least 3 layers. One is like the bottom base, just kind of random color. Then you start building some details on top of that, and that's going to probably take up like 2 layers or more. And when I say like, plan on a certain amount of layers, I mean minimal, you know. All right, so that's probably a good start down here. All right. I guess I can probably still use that. I'm gonna get some more blue over here. Oh, there's some brown down here in his I like the background to be super soft. Kind of like cloudy. Okay, so he does have like a kind of a brown belt. I need to get that in there real quick. Hey Willie, how's it going? Yeah, Geppetto got some eyeballs pretty recently. Kid suggested it. Um, Kid was like, Geppetto can't see, and I'm like, well, all right, well, we can try to fix that. So that was Kid's suggestion, and now Geppetto can see. I think it's only been like a couple weeks. It hasn't been a ton of time. You haven't missed much. We're doing a dog pool tonight. This is Britain's ugliest dog, which I think is bullshit. I think it's an adorable dog. It's the cutest dog I ever seen, except for my own bear. All right, so it does have like kind of a brown bag, or not brown bag, a brown belt. So we got that going. Let's get some try to get some details in here. Again, I'm not too worried about the details. Some of these miscellaneous features. Like nobody's going to be grading me on the detail of the belt, you know. Well, I hope not. Like you don't want this to look like a photo anyway. You want it to look like a drawing. We need to dress Geppetto and make him look proper. I have a scuba diving kit for him. You know those full size GI Joes that are out there. There's like little soldier outfits and stuff for those guys. So they seem to be the right size for him. I have a scuba outfit, and then I've got a astronaut outfit around here somewhere as well. So I do have some outfits to put him in. I just haven't gotten around to it. I think abstractly that looks good enough. A bit bright. Tone that down a bit. All right, so that looks pretty cool. Get into I had a darker. There we go. I'm gonna use this as kind of like a darker red. I don't know how that's going to look. That's not going to look good at all. Let me use this. Hmm. It's not coming out very dark either. Let's put it and try this black pencil. Guess that's good enough. Use that for some shading. You're a genius, Jeremy. I know, Jeremy. I appreciate you saying so, though, Jeremy. No problem, Jeremy. You know, Jeremy, we got to stick together. You're right, Jeremy. We do. And sometimes I talk to myself. He needs a gun. Yeah, so like I was thinking about that. Like the photo, the reference photo that I'm using, he doesn't have any kind of weapons or whatever. I'm kind of curious, like whether he does in the movie or not. Like I think that would be cool. Like if he's got like a little doggy gun, that would be so cool. So man kind of like folds to his clothes right now. Okay, Larry says, I think the authority in the room, Nora classified Peggy as a scoopable. Nice. That's a heavy compliment coming from her. That's great. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool, like the dog running around with a gun. They probably will have that in the movie itself. I don't know. I don't know what this dog does in the movie. Like maybe he just goes around looking cute. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great movie. Marvel has kind of been slumping lately. They haven't been putting out great content. The last movie that they put out was the Marvels, and that was like at the turn of the year. It wasn't all that great. I enjoyed it, but I'm kind of like easy to please when it comes to these things. The general audiences didn't like it. It got panned. So they need a win. Hopefully, this movie gets them back in the win column. But then, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 that came out last year, that was pretty good too. And that kind of like, didn't help them out much. So they need this and then a few other wins, I think. And then they'll be back on track. I'm rooting for them just because I feel like there's a lot of good content that they still have to make. But, they got to make quality content. They used to make really good movies, and it's not enough just to like crank something out and expect people like me to go and watch it because I'm not enough. Like you'll always get people like me to go and watch these things, but you're not going to get the general audiences by putting out crap. You have to put out really good movies, and I think this one's going to be a good one. I know it's been too long since I've heard from you. I hope you're good. Can't stop picking on you. Nobody's picking on me. It's fine if you do pick on me. I don't care. Let's see. Where's my pink? So I do kind of want to get some of the. There's like all these outfits they make for these comic characters. They're all like Kevlar. Like they all have this like texture. Like I feel like if you can draw one of them, you can draw all of them. But they have these like little. I don't know what to call it, but it reminds me of like I don't know. It's just a weird texture that they always put in these things. Sorry, I had to interrupt my stream twice to put the cat out. That's not my intention. So as you can see, I'm working on like getting some highlight and texture into these things. How are we doing on time? Yeah, we're doing okay. Yeah, not shooting for ultra realism here, guys. Just shooting for suggestive of a Dogpool costume. Also, just trying to make sure I get enough of it done in the time that I've got. Yeah, I am a good sport. Yeah, you can make fun of me all you want. Like, I'll probably agree with you. Like, if it's funny. Yeah, I mean, like, I enjoy a good roast. I mean, honestly, I just appreciate you guys coming in and watching. You guys can make fun of me if you want. Um, there's I don't hold too many things like sacred. You can make fun of my art, you can make fun of me, all of that's totally fine. Just don't make fun of my dogs because my dogs are awesome. Like I'm definitely not going to agree with you on that, but anything else is fair game. All right, so probably get some like highlights on the black leather parts. You know, I try to imagine. So I go for walks sometimes, and well, I go for walks like basically daily. That's one of my favorite things to do, by the way. Like just for exercise or whatever, I like going for like walks. And sometimes when I'm out taking a walk, it's so it's so random, but it's true. When I'm out walking, I try to think about like what if these comic book characters actually existed and were in the like real world. So I try to think of like, imagine walking down a trail and you see the Hulk, for example, right? So the Hulk is like, I don't know, it's like 3 times as tall as a human being. I don't know the exact measurement, but imagine like somebody being 3 times your height, like right there in front of you. That would be pretty intimidating. But then I think, well, what if the Hulk is like at a distance and now he's like this tiny little Hulk and it's not that impressive. Like you never see these things in the movies, but these these comic book characters really would be kind of goofy in the real world, like running around with their like really strange costumes and stuff like that. Like, imagine if you're like at a crime scene and the cops are all around, like trying to figure out, like, well, you know, who blew up this building or something like that, and then Captain America shows up wearing his blue outfit. It would look pretty ridiculous. Like, I could not take that guy seriously if he just showed up at a crime scene talking about like, oh yeah, it must have been Hydra that blew up this building. It's like, what? Like you crazy man. What are you doing here at my crime scene? Um, yeah, these guys probably would not look very good in the real world. So Brian Brian Singer, I think he's the one who did the original 20th Century Fox character like movies. So I see what he was trying to go with the black leather outfits and stuff, just so that they don't look as goofy as they do in the comics and stuff. But man, that's ridiculous as well. Nobody's going to wear this much leather out in the real world. Like you're not going to walk around wearing leather pants and jackets and so on. It's like the whole thing is pretty ridiculous in my opinion. I don't know. And I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the stories. The stories are good. I like a good comic book story. They're basically the modern mythology. So like, especially for people my age or whatever, and just nerds in general. But you know, these are the mythologies for people my age and just it's just part of our culture. But to think of these guys wandering around in the real world, I don't think so. When is it Peggy has a side gig hunting hogs in that suit? I don't know. Like, so Peggy was voted Britain's ugliest dog. I'm not familiar with that contest. I don't know what prize you win. Like, do you get to be a spokesperson for ugly dogs everywhere? Do you do you market like dog food in that role? I don't know what Peggy does for a living besides being a movie star now. Peggy's like a straight up movie star now. This is going to be one of the biggest movies of this year too. So like Peggy's going to be like super famous. I wonder if Peggy gets royalties. But yeah, about to become a star. Peggy a fireman dog. I don't. Peggy. So this is Deadpool. No, I'm sorry, a Dogpool. So he's wearing red because that's the costume. It's a there's a movie coming out for those who really don't know. At the end of this month, a new Deadpool movie's coming out, and this is a variation of Deadpool. So like this is Deadpool as a dog. That's why this dog's wearing a red outfit. So that's what I'm drawing. I'm drawing Dogpool, and I get that not everybody's familiar with that, and You know, if you're not, that's okay. I'm not gonna hold it against you guys. So as you can see, I'm adding like highlights to the leather and so on, trying to make it look a little bit more detailed than it was a moment ago. A moment ago, it just kind of looked like a bit of a mass of nondescript outfit. How we doing on time? We're still okay. All right, so I think this is looking pretty good. I'm trying to think other like little features I'm missing here. This is an adorable dog. I can't wait to see this movie. It's gonna be so good. So again, I know that like not everybody here is a big fan of like Deadpool or Marvel. I'm just kind of curious, like, do you guys plan on seeing this movie, or you guys like okay, Jeremy, whatever you say, and like enjoy your drawings and stuff. I'm never gonna go see this movie. It's gonna be ridiculous. I'm just kind of curious what you guys think. All right, so I feel like enough of this down through here is done. Peggy pulls a candy ring. I'm getting up and walking away. Jeremy, you're a pro. Hey, thanks, MJ. I appreciate that. I don't know about that. I want this background to look better. I'm just gonna add some random texture back here just so that it looks like a drawing. Isn't that kind of weird? Like you can take a picture and be like, I want it to look more stylized and go back and add styling to it. I like that background a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't like it. I'm trying to get it to where I do like it. It's I think it's okay. I want it to look a little bit more like the reference picture, but I felt like it would take a while. And I have the patience for it, but I don't really have the time during the stream to make it look like the reference. So he's kind of like under a canopy of trees. Where have I heard that before? Under a canopy of trees with like a little bit of the sky kind of poking through. Canopy of stars. That's like he's under a canopy of stars. There we go. Introduce a little bit of yellow over here so that you got that going. I think it's enough to like put in these like blurred out circles because they do represent, you know, light leaves, clouds poking through. So humble. Like I appreciate the compliments, guys. I don't know though. Like I don't think I'm all that humble. I just think I'm like realistic. Like there are people who are really, really good at drawing. I am not that. I enjoy drawing and I try really hard. Sometimes it comes out looking okay, but I don't think it's like all that. I feel like I could probably get there someday. Like I look further down the road than where I'm at now. Like look at like well maybe one day I will be where I want to be. I'm not there yet. So for those who are trying to learn how to draw, like this is what's really cool about pastels. You can just kind of apply them and blend them out like that, and you can end up with some cool effects. In this case, you know, you kind of have like blurred out, almost like a photo of like, you know, the sky kind of poking through some leaves. I like it. I think it's cool. I do have this other call it green here. I want to. Sometimes I have fun just working on the background, like these like I have been trying to do like landscapes lately, so like just kind of putting in some texture and stuff back here on this background and stuff. This is cool for me. Put in one or two. I don't want to get too crazy over on this side. This side's meant to be a little bit darker. All right, I feel like that's good. Let me kind of blend this in just a little bit, not too much. Like I still want it to look a bit. All right, that's kind of cool. Okay, now back to the actual dog. Yeah, we still have like a little bit of time here. Well, Jeremy, you do a great job. Thank you. I really do appreciate the compliments, guys. I do. I don't know. I'm looking at this dog. I'm like, I can't tell if the dog just looks weird or my picture looks weird. One or the other. I don't know. I think it looks enough like the dog where I feel comfortable calling it Dogpool. But also, this is a weird looking dog. It's hard to say whether or not I captured it right. I mean, I just want to do the dog. This is to me. It's a weird looking dog, but it's beautiful. Like I want to capture it right. And again, if you're looking for a challenge, like as a animal portrait artist, stop drawing pretty dogs. Draw a Peggy and see how that lands. See how it feels to like have to draw these weird shapes and stuff and make them look like a face. I think it's a great exercise for aspiring artists or people who are like mid journey along the path. And I think that that's probably a good place to put myself. Like, I'm not a master, but in Jedi terms, I'm a Padawan. I'm a Ben Kenobi kind of Padawan, not an Anakin kind of Padawan. Anakin was like super young. Um, I'm more like Ben Kenobi and the Phantom Menace. Uh, you know, not completely inept, but not, I'm no Qui-Gon Jinn. There we go. You guys are probably like, what the hell is he talking about this time? Some of you guys out there know. The Acolyte is almost wrapped up. I still don't know how I feel about that. I feel bad for Disney because I know that they really want to continue with their Star Wars properties. I just I don't think that this show really resonated with audiences, so I think they're going to struggle. And they've sunk so much money into it, and they had probably high hopes for it. I don't think it's going to pan out the way they wanted it to. So that sucks for them, and probably just for the Star Wars as a whole, because it's like, where do you go from this? People keep rejecting your your offerings that you put out there. I don't know. Peggy is better looking than my ex-wife. Ah, ah. Kid says, I draw stick figures like Forrest Fenn. Hey, Forrest Fenn had more artistic talent than he let on. I don't know if you guys knew this, but in the 2006 Cody interview, he actually admitted to drawing the drawings of the Kachina dolls for that book. He said that he drew those. And those are not stick figures. He had more talent than he let on, which makes sense. He's surrounded by a bunch of artists, throughout his sales career. Of course, he's going to try to draw the pictures and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, like this is a true thing. The more you draw, the better you get. If you don't have any talent drawing, just the cure for that is just draw more. You become a better drawer the more that you draw. So I could picture Forrest Fenn maybe not having a lot of innate talent, but just being surrounded by a bunch of other artists and stuff. I do believe that he learned more skill at drawing than he let on. I would not be surprised to find that he drew some of the pictures in that book. At least one of them, we know was not drawn by Alan Polt. I would not be surprised if he drew that one. There's no smoking gun. There's no like proof that he drew it, but I would not be that surprised if that's one of the things that came out. and fun and answers or whatever. I think Finn was a forger. Now that would require a lot of skill. I don't know if I'm at that point, but I do think that he had more skill than he let on. Um, his best friend, Eric Sloan, was like an artist. I'm sure they had conversations where they sat down and like, "Hey, Forrest, I bet you, $1 that you can't draw this picture." And it's like, "Well, yeah, I can draw this picture." That's how those type of conversations go. And I'm sure they had those. So I would not be that surprised, to be honest. Now, do I know that for a fact? No, I don't know that for a fact. But I do know that he did admit to drawing those Kachina dolls. So, like, if you want to see not stick figure art by Forrest Fenn, just look for those. Now, I don't know. Like, he may have used the technique where he traced. I don't know. How do you? Well, I guess you could take a photo of something and then trace it or something. Um, but they're not stick figures. So he did have some sort of ability to draw characters. They look kind of cool too. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen those, but those Kachina dolls are pretty cool. I I don't know if I could own a Kachina doll. Like, there was some for sale in like they had a like an estate sale. I think Shiloh had one in Cincinnati where a couple of Forrest Fenn items were there, and there were two or three Kachina dolls up for sale. No, I would not buy those dolls. Are freaking haunted for sure. There is no way those dolls are not cursed. Like, you, if you own look, if you own any Native American art, the chances of that stuff being haunted is pretty high. But if you own a doll, 100% that thing is cursed. 100%. Now, it may be one of those mild curses, like where it's not too bad of a deal. Like, I don't know, maybe your like fingernails fall off or something. Um, but it could be one of those bad curses where you get run over by a train. You never know. Yeah, that's the thing with curses. You don't know what kind of curse you're going to get. Life is like a box of curses. You never know what you're going to get when messing with Native American stuff. Like, anybody ever watch Poltergeist? I mean, yeah, they're worse than clowns. Thanks, kid. 100%. See, clowns aren't necessarily cursed. They're just scary looking. Um, but when you get something that's scary looking and also like Native American juju on it, that thing's probably cursed. Like that whole Poltergeist movie where it's like the housing division was like built over Native American burial ground. Hey, you're just asking for trouble. I don't know if this is a perfect rendition of Peggy slash Dogpool, but I'm not hating this. I am not hating this actually. Again, it's not maybe it's because I'm like I'm down to like I don't know like a thumbnail's worth of liquor here, but I'm actually pretty happy with this. Um, I don't I don't think this is going to win me any awards or anything, but sometimes people just like hate my pictures that I do. I know it's not you guys and everything, but sometimes I do get thumbs down on my pictures. I don't think this one's going to get a thumbs down just because I kind of nailed it. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad though. It's really not that bad. Peggy is adorable, and I think that this picture, you know, it's not a photo or anything, but you can tell it's a drawing. But I think it does Peggy justice. I feel like I could spend a couple more hours on it, just keep adding layers to it, and it'll get better. I'm not going to do all that, but I do think that the bones are here for that kind of thing. Now, what would be awesome Water Learn with Francis Tapon or Tapon. I don't know what that is. Now, what would make me happy is if I could do this type of picture as quickly and as like confidently as I do my other pictures, like that Chihuahua I did. That picture I really enjoyed doing, and I like how fast it came out. Like I like the scribble art of it. If I could do a picture that turned out like this in that style, that would be awesome. Then I feel like I'm really got something going. Like if I can create pictures that actually resemble what I'm trying to do that quickly, then I might agree with you guys and say, well, okay, maybe I am an artist. I don't know. I mean, I think of myself as an artist. I don't think of myself. I definitely consider myself as a student rather than a master, though. I mean, we're all different walks of like the path. We're all different. We're all walking the same path, but we're further along than what I don't. I don't know what I'm trying to say. We're all walking the path. We're all different links down the path. There you go. Yeah, I'll make sense. I'll make sense tomorrow. I'm gonna come back and look at this picture. I'm gonna be like, this is garbage. I'm throwing this in the garbage. I actually like this a lot right now. Tampon is your pick from the store for your girl. Sorry, I had Tapon, not tampon. I mean, this is looking pretty close to the reference picture. I'm pretty happy with it. And Nora said it's scoopable. That's all. That's what really matters. That's the metric we're going for. Is it scoopable? I say yes. It's just like a lot of little details and stuff. Like you can spend hours doing this. I'm not going to. Like, how are we doing on time? Yeah, probably wrapping it up soon. But you could probably spend. Yes, Bear. Hi, we all like you. You're gonna be the annoying one now, huh? I already stopped the stream twice for the cat. So like little details, like you can put in these like little dots representing stitches on the leather. But yeah, this is a pretty solid spot. I'm happy with it. Let's see, any last minute saves I can make in the face. This poor dog. Like I would I would love to have this dog. I would love to see this face every day. This dog, since becoming a like a movie star, is probably eating super well too, like steaks every day, you know, all that gourmet dog food. All right, I think we're getting pretty close to calling this done, and then I'm not sure what else I can add to it to make it look more like the reference picture. Hesitant to put the reference picture up because I know it's not perfect, but I will probably do that here before we call it done. Hopefully it captures the spirit well enough. It's tough to say. There are definitely features of the reference picture in this. I'm not sure how well I did on the texture through here. Here's Dale before and after the. I always like Dale. Dale. Um, I consider Dale a friend. I would send him blog posts back in the day. I don't know if you guys ever read them, but there's a couple. Like one of the ones that I sent him, I was pretty proud of. Like I noticed that the picture of the the logging, the one with the figure with the axe standing on a stump, and there's like a bunch of logs and or stumps and stuff in the picture. Um, I was looking at that and I was like, huh, this picture has been altered, and, probably like through Photoshop, probably by the graphic artist who designed the book. And I actually worked out what the original picture looked like. That was a lot of fun. I sent that to Dale. He published it. Um, he published a couple of my blog posts back in the day. They were always fun to do. Get that tongue looking right. But yeah, I always liked Dale. He was pretty cool. He had the best stories. Worker for years. Yeah, I used to post all kinds of comments. That's pretty far down to that thing. I was having a blast. It was such a fun activity. It kind of sucks that it pretty much ended, but it was so fun. Hey Edie, how's it going? Yeah, we're getting pretty close to calling this done. So I feel kind of bad because I think the last time you popped in, like I was like, oh, we're done. I'll stay on for a few minutes more. But yeah, there's not much else I can do to this. Like there are some details probably I can add, but I don't know. There comes a point where it's not really making a difference in the picture. I wish there was more to these ears. Like these ears are kind of like um featureless, right? So that's kind of tough to draw because like you end up with like this weird shape that doesn't have much detail to it. Probably like in real life or in a higher resolution reference photo, there might be more features to work with, but it's tough because like all I end up with is these weird shapes, and I'm not sure how well I did on them because there's like not a lot of features to kind of compare, to like look at and then look back at, that kind of thing. It's tough. Cute doggy. Yeah. So this is since you just popped in, this is Dogpool from the movie Deadpool that's coming out here in 2 weeks. So it's a variant of Deadpool himself. So like, what if Deadpool was a dog kind of deal? And the actor who is playing the dog or playing Dogpool is a dog that was voted the ugliest dog in Britain. Kid just sent it to you and Jeremy. Cool. Yeah, Deadpool. A comic book character. Um, it's kind of hard to explain if you're not familiar with the comics or the movies. Like there were two other Deadpool movies. It's one of those Marvel movies, one of those comic book movies. I don't expect everybody to understand. It's a it's a thing. All right. So let's. I know it's not perfect, okay, but I'm going to put up the reference picture. Okay, so that's the reference picture, and then this is my interpretation of the reference picture. So it's not perfect. Some of the colors are off. Um, I think the proportions are basically there. Look at the dog. Look at the dog. Look at the tongue just hanging off. It's adorable. This dog is adorable. I'm sorry. Like this is like exactly. Look at that dog. So again, this dog is named Peggy. It is Britain's ugliest dog. I actually did my research on this, so I looked it up. It is a pug slash Chinese crested cross. So, and the thing is, if you look up Peggy, Britain's ugliest dog, all of the photos of Peggy has the dog with the tongue. I think that's a permanent feature. I think that dog's tongue is permanently always hanging out of its mouth. Now, it's not like it's paralyzed or anything because you see in the trailers for the Deadpool movie, the dog is actually licking Deadpool. So that tongue actually works. I don't know why it just hangs out like that. But if you go back to my picture, so it is tough. It is tough. I'm not going to say that this is a perfect rendition of Peggy, but I tried. And it's tough because, like, you know, it's hard to it's hard to capture how awesome that tongue is. Relax, dog. I think that my dog is cuter. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's not perfect. I don't want my dog to be cuter. I want my dog to be just as, I want my dog to look like Peggy. Peggy's such an adorable dog. Anyway, it is what it is. I think I got pretty close. I'm not unhappy with this. I think there's it's tough. It's really tough. Like here, let me go back to the reference. So like the fur that makes up the mouth, the bottom of the mouth. How do you do that? How do you draw that? And like the other the texture and stuff on the upper lips. I think I did a good enough job. I'm happy enough. It's not perfect, but I'm happy enough. Plus, it was fun. This was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun drawing Dogpool. Anyway, looks like it was crossbred with a rat. Yeah, but no, this is probably my favorite dog at the moment, besides my own dogs, of course. Yeah, Peggy is awesome. I'm glad Peggy got that role. Like, you know, yeah, there are some famous dogs out there in the world, some movie star dog, type dogs and stuff. I think Peggy definitely deserves to be in a movie. It's just a weird looking dog. There's, I did not capture the justice of it. I'm trying to think, what would I change it? I think I need to bring this stuff in. I don't know if I can still do that. Like this, the head needs to be like squished a little bit more. I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm about done. This was a lot of fun, but like you know, I think it's close enough. I can see some of the things that I think would improve it, but it's not worth it. I'm not worried about it. It's close enough to looking like a dog pool to me. Like I feel like if I put this up on Reddit, people will be like, "Oh, that's funny," and then people will stop talking about the picture itself, and they'll start talking about the movie coming out, and like it won't matter. But I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's cool. It was a lot of fun to draw. I'll put it up on my wall. Anyway, yeah, so I'm probably going to call this done. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Thursday. Hey, you go to bed tonight. When you wake up tomorrow, it's going to be Friday. How awesome is that? It's going to be the weekend. Um, Hopefully, it will be a great weekend for you guys. Hopefully, you guys got some cool plans. I don't know what I'm going to do. Depends on the weather. Like, if it's cooled down a bit and stuff, I might actually go out and do some stuff. Maybe go kayaking, maybe go for a walk. But if it's been as hot as it has been, there's no point in going outside. It's just crazy. It's just nuts. It's crazy. If you guys are in one of those like really really hot areas and like your AC goes out or something, please go to like a library or some sort of like public place where they have air conditioning. You don't need to be out there messing with this jazz. it's just nuts, and it's gonna get worse. You know, like it's not like anything's gonna ever get better. But yeah, kayaking that's my big thing. Especially like this time of year, like going for hikes and stuff is not all that great because of the sweat. But kayaking is always fun because you always like end up splashing yourself and keeping cool. But anyway, so hopefully you guys had a good time. I had a great time. Dogpool. If you guys aren't familiar with the movies, go back, watch the original Deadpool, the best one ever. It is rated R, so it's not for kids. So like if you're under a certain age, don't go and watch this. Don't say, well, Jeremy said it was great. No, don't do that. But Deadpool, hilarious movie. Deadpool 2, just as great. This is the third Deadpool movie, the first one that's going to be in the MCU, so I'm super excited about that. A lot of cameos going to be in the movie. I think it's going to be great. Do I kayak on the Green River? I don't know if you're asking me. There's not a Green River around here. I kayak on. There's like a lot of creeks in Kentucky that connect to the Kentucky River. I have been kayaking on the Kentucky River. I'll probably go on the Ohio River before too long. But anyway, yeah. So Dogpool, go see the movie. It looks like it's going to be hilarious. But let's see. Go back to just me. There we go. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this Thursday night. Hopefully you guys had fun. The dogs are obviously tearing down the door. I will see you guys on Tuesday. You guys stay cool. Have a good one. I appreciate you guys. Bye. See ya.